From the performances of the ancient Greeks to Keanu Reeves saying,
"You're breathtaking!"
Celebrities have always been icons among our society. Celebrities is a broad term. We look up to those in power and those with cultural significance. But entertainers have always been at the height of our societal popularity. From the performers to the accidental entertainers, we as the consumer have been obsessed with the idealistic world of those who keep us glued to our screens. Ever since the 20th century brought us the silver screen, there has been an enormous influx of not just celebrities, but celebrities' relevance in our everyday lives. Participatory culture is a term that Henry Jenkins defines as what allows free expression of artistic talent and civil engagement in sharing one's creations with others. In other words, it's fan culture, the masses who partake in conventions or social media threads, the consumer that makes an artist or a piece of work popular. How this participatory culture is engaged in has always evolved throughout time. The more advancements we make with technology, the easier it is to spread information and share opinions. Such opinions as those that relate to the Johnny Depp vs. Amber Heard defamation trial. On April 11, 2022, the world exploded into anarchy when Johnny Depp sued his wife Amber Heard for $50 million in damages over recent allegations she made about their relationship. The defamation case was not as cut and dry as one might believe. It was televised for the world to see, and that's just what the world did. Memes, chat rooms, rallies, news reports. The trial was everywhere, with everyone involved. We can see the media's effects on justice all the way back to the public executions of a guillotine. The guillotine became a weekend attraction for not just the French, but all of medieval Europe. It did not matter if you were innocent or not, people would root to see a live execution. For a less barbaric example, take Aaron Burr, the one who shot everyone's favourite rapping founding father in a then legal duel. When news got out about Hamilton's death at the hands of Burr, the public rioted and defaced anything related to him. When word got out about who he shot, people loved hating Burr. The Lindenberg case surrounded the murder of Charles Lindenberg's baby. The media unintentionally hindered the police investigation, and when the body was found, it was photographed and sold to the public. When a killer was found, the case was publicised as the trial of the century and was swarmed by the general population, reporters and filmmakers. Bruno Hauptmann, the man who was convicted of the murder, was found guilty, a verdict that made the entire crowd cheer. Lindenberg himself found the crowd's reaction barbaric and inappropriate. This resulted in a temporary ban of cameras in a courtroom. Laws on publicity are always changing in regard to the jury remaining impartial to the case. In the United States, the 14th Amendment grants equal protection of laws to all American citizens. This means that the law cannot be biased or swayed for any reason when convicting someone. Nowadays, public access to the courtroom are allowed within moderation. This historical evidence does not conclude the Depp vs. Heard case is valid. As this was a civil case with no one being prosecuted, this should not have generated the media frenzy over a relationship that we are not a part of. The status of the celebrity was enhanced and to some extent created by the illusion of intimacy. As the two are fairly well known to the public, people believed that they had some form of a connection with the case and the prosecuted. This was very prevalent with Depp supporters. Hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp currently has 20 billion views, whilst hashtag Justice for Amber Heard only has 77 million. There is even a petition to remove Heard from Aquaman 2, which has over 4 million signatures. It is also estimated that around 300 fake Twitter accounts were created to further support of Depp and influence the response of Heard's conviction. It is clear that Depp has a larger fan base than Heard. TikToks came out with people talking as if Depp was a close friend of theirs. This was becoming more like a numbers game rather than anything based in legal reasoning. The author Gordenzi states that customers want a genuine role in designing the products. This can be applied both for the trial outcome and Depp's career. Many of Depp's fans grew up with his films, and now they had a chance to actively influence what being made. Guaranteed, someone Depp's side believed he was innocent based on evidence and legitimate information over a liking towards his films. And as the verdict has ruled in favour of Depp, it should be stated that it does appear that Depp was in fact in the right and the support was warranted. However, the influence from fan culture must be noted as something that was very prevalent in this particular case. News outlets waited outside for interviews, paparazzi tried to take photographs through the courtroom windows, and onlookers live-streamed the trial for social media. A common talking point online was if Depp would return for another Pirates movie, as if their say mattered. The court of public opinion is harmless, however this must be kept separate from the jury's verdict. Jenkins states that the circulation of media content across different media systems, competing media economies and national borders depends heavily on consumers' active participation. For case skyrocketed to stardom, which boosted ratings for several news outlets, hence why the case kept being broadcast. The publicity shined on this case would have been impossible for the jury to avoid. As social media is at the height of its relevance, it can be assumed that the members of the jury knew what the common consensus was. Heard's lawyer believes this to be the case, as in a recent interview she stated that,
"How can you not? They went home every night. They have families. The families are on social media. We had a 10-day break in the middle because of the judicial conference. There's no way they couldn't have been influenced by it."
Media is something we influence by showing our interest in certain things. In this instance, our biases, even if justified, were misplaced but quick to take light. This legal case was turned into a daytime soap opera, one that disregarded the personal stakes even if masquerading as support. One simple search online shows how this case became entertainment in vain of reality television. Is it fair to say that Heard lost because of the internet? No. Our obsession with collectively deciding opinions based on personal prejudices is a quality that we have had all throughout history. The consumers responding of wanting a product, Depp in films, intertwined with real justice is something that needs to be separated. History would dictate that this is just the natural evolution of a media-frenzied culture that has always been prevalent and acts as no significant change towards the justice system. As seen, participatory culture with celebrities and the law are two things that have commonly overlapped. Perhaps we do not care so much about legal ramifications, and more so as being a part of a collective to feel a sense of importance. As media constantly grows, it becomes easier to share opinions and be a part of a mob mentality. I believe that the defamation trial was merely that, mob mentality that, even if subliminally so, influenced the global and legal view on Heard. Maybe we know we're getting too involved with people who are no more than strangers on a big screen. Maybe I'm wrong, and there is nothing truly wrong with what happened and how this case was resolved, and maybe the verdict was not influenced at all by the media. But what I do know is that throughout history, numbers, popularity, gossip, they're what wins. And is that justice, or is that just history repeating itself?